Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion. That is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness by giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to demand you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand. To be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become. In being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle, which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and in the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to the 434th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, June 9th, 2026. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute, Education Department, and part of the public teachings in English. My name's Rick Crammond. I'll be your host once again in this weekly series of workshops ongoing for many years now. And we have, of course, the members and support members of the Universal Council who will be presenting today's program. And without further ado, let me share that program and we will be.
I heard we will be, and a mic was muted, or
I'm looking for the answer here, and it looks like Shweta is going to do
Yes,
her.
I am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Go
Thank
ahead.
you so much. Thank you. And thank you so much, beautiful souls, for always being here. Well, all the love always. And welcome, welcome to Swagatam into the beautiful energy of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization. Welcome to Swagatam into the beautiful energy of all the love always. Welcome into the beautiful energy of all universal souls we are, the cosmic body we are. Welcome into the beautiful energy of all souls in existence. Home. Welcome to Swagatam. And I will say only one word. Just the universal love we are in. It was always within us. Always. Just we realized in this beautiful new cycle we are with the knowledge of Keshe Foundation, the universal knowledge we have been through as knowledge seekers, still we are learning. We stepped in this new era, new beauty, new totality, new peace, new, everything is new and new. And this is so simple and so lovely. Be in love, dear beautiful souls. And this is the time. Elevating all souls to be in peace forever. And this is necessary now. Everybody has to do that. So thank you for being here, beautiful souls. Thank you so much. Gratitude from the core of my heart and soul. Gratitude. Welcome. Thank you so much. Salam, namaste, salute.
Hey, thank you, Shweta. And that brings us to the World Peace Treaty. Who I'm sure someone will speak about.
Yes.
yes, Shweta, we do thank our souls for bringing us here. I think we brought that up a bit in the testimonial meeting, and it was a bit relevant. And of course, we haven't understood our full physiology, I guess we would say, or even our physicality, the creation that's going on or that we can actually trigger within our own universe, within our own structure. So this is part of what Mr. Keshe is doing. If we can understand our own structure better, we can become more peaceful by apparently controlling the lymph through the emotions. There wouldn't be a need to kill, but we're a bit far from it, but we're certainly learning techniques. And of course, we're all here to set the scene for the world peace. Mr. Keshe seems to be working heavily on the technology end. We're sort of like stagehands in popularizing it, talking about it. Some of these things are, again, beyond the comprehension of the man, that you could actually get a piece of gold without digging it out of the earth and many other things. So as we become more peaceful, learning to operate our low energy nuclear system in a way, we can then enter into a new sort of plasma dimension of wellness, of energy, of space travel, and so on. And of course, there's a whole program that's backing that. I think that's the One Nation Network. So there's many things and many combinations of things that are going to help us to become more peaceful with our thoughts, with our words, and with our actions. And that was what Mr. Keshe stressed pretty heavily, that our ability or our desire to destroy life is heavily ingrained within us, and it's spreading across the universe, and this is not acceptable. So this is part of the whole program to get us into the peaceful position that we can then start interacting and acting with the energy dimension more often, even though I think we are. Of course, we discard it. So the peace is very important, but it's to find peace within yourself first, and then the others. And again, this lymph is tuning the brain, and the brain is responsible for emotions and other things and working in tandem with the soul. So I think there's a bigger work going on. There's probably a pattern of life of every organ, and we need to understand that, and again, understand our physiology. But I thank all the souls that you've gathered here. I think that it's a game of the energies, not so much the physicality, and the souls apparently know what they're doing. So we thank each and every one that's here, and those that are here just on the energy dimension, because they're probably far outweigh those here in the that we see in the attendees list or the participants list. So thank you all, and continue to wish for world peace. There is a part at 9 p.m. we were talking about. The background is very beautiful today. We were thinking about this as part of the elevation of the leaders, the world leaders, and the soul of this planet. So it's a huge work, but we have seasoned players deep in the background that are going to help us popularize it, support it, and expand it. So thank you all for being here, both your physicality and your soul. Anyone else?
Yes, my dear Mark, and I also welcome at all those who are attending this presentation today. Thank you for attending. And please, you can open your mic anytime, dear beautiful souls, to say your share your lovely words. So if you want to say about world peace, sweetie, you are so much welcome. And I will say with one soul, with Mark, one heart with Mark, that this world peace treaty starts from within us. You, me, and all that is. The game is over. We all have forgiven each other and looking forward. So please, oh yes, with a kind heart, sign for the benefit of all. Sign the World Peace Treaty with your soul pen, with a pen, understanding what is the need of this moment now. Answer your true self. You are. Thank you so much. Welcome anybody wants to say anything. You are so much welcome, dear one.
Sweta, thank you. It's Dean here. I haven't been here for a little while, so I can say a few things about the peace. The peace within and the peace within this World Peace Treaty. It seems that peace has been a hard, long road, path, existence for many physical beings on planet Earth in these moments. And I think people, the souls are never tired, but I think the physicality gets very tired, sometimes on the journey. So this one planet, one nation, one race event, this event that we're present at in this very moment, each and every one of us, we all play a part. And the totality of the part is the act, is the position, is the timing, it's everything and nothing. It's plasma. It's being present in the moment and understanding that you are part of something that is a much larger totality. And we act and we play these small parts very well. And we can have many, many emotions that are linked to these acts that we portray and we establish with our function of being present. So this World Peace Treaty, and it says we as citizens of the earth from this moment on accept to lay down all tools of aggression and war. We shall never think about getting involved or incite war or develop or use any tools of war on this planet or indeed in space. And to this we all agree and swear with our nation, territory, council, religion, city, town, body and soul. And I think we've discussed this many times. What does that mean? What does it really mean? According to the teachings of the foundation of Mr. Keshe, of the knowledge that's shared openly, it affects you in multiple ways. Multiple ways. It affects the physical body in this very instant, in everything that you do and you sense and feel. And what comes onto your path in those particular moments. So if you are thinking about and inciting and creating a certain environment to harm another, then that war inside is going to basically come back to bite you. It's going to create a condition that is going to make your physical body suffer in some shape, form or other. Because you have an intention to create a position that is not beneficial for the others, for the other beautiful beings and souls that are present. And this intention, this faith, this belief, are they the same thing or are they different? I don't know. But however, when you start to establish this condition of a judgment of another race, territory, council, religion, town, city, your own body, even your soul, you're creating a condition that has to balance, it has to establish a connection. And if you take too much from it, then the balance may be good or bad for you, indifferent. And there's many ways to connect with this. So the World Peace Treaty has many, many, many threads, many conditions, and many ways to establish that connection directly with you on your journey, in your presence, in your very position that you are established in, maybe, or establishing, that you are present now, experiencing. So this World Peace Treaty, when we act individually through our experiences, we can create a position depending upon our established position that we have come to know, that we have made public or non-public, have made established that connection with the creation point. And all of it is linked to the creation point. And as Mr. Keshe would say, nothing is right and nothing is wrong. It's plasma, it's magnetical and gravitational. It has an interaction both ways. The flow goes from one to the other. So if you understand this as a plasma, as a magrav, you understand that that flow flows out of you, goes around and comes back in. So if you are created a condition, you're creating it for yourself, not just for the others, but for yourself. And as we know, as a universal condition, as an entity, as a being, as a centralized energy, we all receive constantly from the creation point, whether we like it or not. You have no choice. We are all present in the moment. The knowledge being shared, the much larger understanding, is creating a condition of a gradual drop by drop peace. And as we all do, I find myself doing it as well. We all fight it sometimes, and we all have to find this balance, find this position that creates peace. And we all know that the ethos of the foundation is based around this peaceful aspect of being present and not, as Mark said earlier, killing, of taking energies. So we're going to need to receive energies in a different way. And the World Peace Treaty, as you can imagine, if you feel it deeply within inside yourself, you can open this pathway to peace. It's a function of you. It's a part of you. It's a part of everything. It is the establishment of the beauty of the knowledge of creation. And you can act in many, many different ways. This is your choice in this moment. However, there is always a balance and a position where you have to give back. So the more you give, the more you receive. And I've learned this myself, that when you try to position yourself or reposition yourself, the universe, the energies want to pull you back in, want to have you in a position of beauty so that you can contribute together as we. And I'm fiercely independent. I always have been. But I understand the we is the most important thing. And that part of being part of a much, much more significant part, the totality. And when we speak of the totality, do we comprehend the vastness of it? And this vastness is between the 4 inches, 6 inches of our brain. The two hemispheres of the brain contain these universes and galaxies and stars and everything else. And we have this centralized sun in the middle, this soul that is creating the matter and the conditions and the emotions as it receives the energies from the sun and other celestial beings and conditions. So when you start to understand a little bit of this, the World Peace Treaty, the words have very significant meanings or a meaning. And I think when these words were constructed and put together, they were done with pure intention, not just for the individual, but for the totality. And the ethos of it shines very brightly. And no matter what you do, that will always be part of you. Will always be part of you, no matter who or what you are. And it doesn't matter if you are a human or not. We're all souls of the creation in this particular sphere that we call the planet Earth and beyond, because there's many that we know are present in these moments that are not from the planet Earth. They may look like it, they may have physical bodies, but they have the most wonderful, gorgeous souls of creation, and they're here. And they can't always show themselves because humanity likes to kill, likes to consume energy by physically taking the energy of another being. And this is This is not possible outside of planet Earth. It's a condition of giving, not if I wander off and I see another being, I want to eat it. I need the energy. And if you understand the teachings, you understand that the physical matter is 20% of what we actually consume, and the elements of being present on planet Earth. 80%, and I'm sure it's probably more, is from a non-physical dimension. It's from the atmosphere. It's from, if you can imagine the planet Earth, all the space dust and everything else that rains down constantly onto planet Earth. It's constant, and it's billions and billions and billions, trillions of particles. And we is a matter being sat in the middle of it. Do you think we don't absorb some of this? We don't receive these energies? And then there's the other energies from the star systems, from the connection to the creation that is the soul. And I explained that a little bit earlier, how that manifests and brings beauty to everything that we are. So, one planet, one nation, one race event. And it's for world peace, the treaty of planet Earth. Understand whom you are, what you are. You have a choice. And we can all be positioned by certain interactions from outside of ourselves. But when you control that peace within, then that interaction changes everything else around you. And then you stop responding outside. And I've had to relearn this again myself very recently, and then become very still inside. And then things start to change. You change, you receive a different set of energies, and the conditions and everything else, the environment reflects back a completely new piece of the creation. So the World Peace Treaty, for all of us, and I read it once more. We are citizens of the earth. From this moment on, except to lay down all tools of aggression and war. We shall never think about getting involved or incite war or develop or use tools, any tools of war on this planet or in space. And to this we all agree and swear with our nations, territory, council, religion, city, town, body and soul. We give from our soul for peace in this moment within. And that is from a tiny plasma to the biggest plasma, from an atom to a universe, and from a subatomic atom to a universe. It's all the same. It's all contained within our physical matter. And then when we understand the ethos, we connect to the creation point of all, and it's within us. So, the World Peace Treaty. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sweater, and thank you all.
Thank you, my dear Dean. Thank you, my dear.
Okay, and we have a hand up here with Ginger, so I'll ask them to unmute. And Ginger, would you like to go ahead? Maybe you could say who you are and where you're from, and your comment.
Well, I've got in my hand the 13 pages of I printed out, gosh, years ago when I first became connected to Dr. Keshe and you guys, and I'm now almost 80 and had to be in a place of learning and this, the front page, Our Planet United in Peace, with the six, Africa, Asia, Europe, Australia, North America, South America, and then we, the souls of all beings connected to the blue planet Earth, hereby create the Constitution of the blue planet Earth, one nation, one planet, one Earth. And then it's got all the instructions on the council. So, gosh, it's been 10, 12 years. I don't know, quite a time since I've been in a place of learning. And then as well, I also have the articles on why the electric universe isn't the same as the plasma universe and why it matters, by Johnson, which explains it all. So, yesterday, and this is what is happening now, the synchronicities that are happening in my life. And yesterday, for some reason, it popped in, and I'm going to say that I literally marched around the house one-on-onesies with my Creator, which is where I've been headed. And just saying, okay, if you want me to know anybody or anything, you better jolly well plunk them all in. Well, here we go. You were plunked in again yesterday with the, and I do like a little white paper with the complete list of commandments again from Keshe. And then on the 7th of October, 2018, it was from Aviram. In this series of meetings, members of the Keshe Foundation, the Universal Council, and plasma students from all over the world share their insights. You can also share yours in participating in the Zoom events. And that popped in yesterday, and that's how I was reconnected with Keshe and the commandments, or Keshe and the commandments. And it's got quite the beautiful summary of the commandments, the 10 commandments delivered by Moses. And I've had this for quite a while, but meanwhile, before I go on, because this is so synchronistic, precisely the way that we have been connected for such a time as this, I firmly believe, because the knowledge of Keshe and everything we think or do shall be good for the good of all we are here to serve is precisely my path of where do I fit now. And Ubuntu, the Ubuntus of Africa, we are, I am because we are, is precisely where I have been led now. And understanding, I have just a humongous library. I say I've been geodesic gyroscoping the cosmos. And of course, then the Christ within, Sophia Christos, the archons, the demiurge, who's been running this joint for eons. And it's for such a time as this. And then before I go any further, because my question now has been, I realize I ran all this information from Keshe through to get a summary. And for me, it's now reconnecting with you and Dr. Keshe, knowing that it is time for us to be cosmic citizens again. And then I have another from Laura for energetic synthesis, our unity vow and the hub handshake as defenders of truth, sovereignty, and liberation, guardian families serving the one. And I think that nails you guys down too as well. So we're all on the same understanding of what I call my job. Now, let me read, because I am on my mother's side, I am a Cherokee. On my father's side, I'm of the County Meath, the Flemings, the ancient Irish kings, royalty, the Millers of the other world, County Antrim, the other world, the inner world, and my understanding is we now need to counsel up with those from above and below. Ella LeBain has a lovely little book, The Who's Who in the Cosmic Zoo, which names all from A to Z all of the known that we know of the above of the universe. And my understanding source is of the great beyond. Beyond, and that's the consciousness. We're all emanations. We're all, we're all just part of this beautiful source. And now remembering who we are and what our purpose is. And interestingly for me, for years I've been hollering, and I do have to say I am a product of the paperclip, the MK Ultra in England, 1952. My dad, 33rd degree Mason, and Shriner, which you have to be anyway. So I was violated from the get-go, and mind controlled, which I believe that's part of the archonic control, the demiurge archonic control of this beautiful planet, prison planet as we speak. And but for some reason I have been brought through all this and now have a wonderful the information to connect the above and below with all of Keshe's and your wonderful knowledge. And it's, for me, been studying the ancient pictographs. And now with all the tablets coming through, the ancient emerald tablets, transmute children of light, this is your purpose, transmute darkness into light. And then, of course, the other scriptures say, discern between good and evil. And I always thought, gosh, you know, the darkness, and I just got this like kind of aha, it just, you know, oh my goodness, here it is. We need the darkness because that's where the seeds are planted, in the good soil, the parable of the sower of the seed, the good soil, and that's us, the good soil, because you must have that good soil and darkness. Pachamama, Mother Earth, which, by the way, I made a covenant with, that it's you and me, old girl. We're here to get the knowledge, get released, all this, educate and inform the whole mass of the people. It's your only surety for liberation. And so you have to have that, the nutrients in the soil, that good earth, in order for a seed to be able to grow and come into the light. So when I got that, okay, that's how we, and I speak of we because that's it, the Ubuntu, I am because we are. we're all in this soup together, this goo, and which is the unified focus conscious field of intent. And so I do want to read you this before I go any further. I was going to read it before because it comes from let's see, it comes from an anonymous Shoshone, and it's called The Ways of the Heart. And this is how humbly I'm coming. I'm so happy to be reconnected.
And you've elevated my soul, Ginger, by just appearing today. I had thought of you often from the last time you appeared here, where I think Mr. Keshe was here, and you asked him a couple of questions. And one of the questions was about Moses and the Ten Commandments.
Yes,
and,
it was. Yes.
And you asked Mr. Keshe, how do you know that Moses delivered or was given the Ten Commandments? And typical of Mr. Keshe, he responded and he said, let's just say I know the guy that gave it to him.
And that's, oh my God. I mean, and that's it. I mean, we can't make this stuff up. I mean, yesterday, that exactly, because what I did is I bounced off Boomer, and here's the answer I got. Let me read The Ways of the Heart first, though. Oh my gosh. And I knew you'd be expecting me. That's why I showed up. I knew that you would be expecting me. Oh, my little spirit is leaping for joy. So let me read The Ways of the Heart, and then I because I know the 24th commandment has been released to him, and so we need that. But anyway, so let me read The Ways of the Heart. And I come to you just as a learner, a seeker of trying to get this thing stick. And it's called The Ways of the Heart. Oh, the comfort, the inexpressible comfort of feeling safe with a person, having neither to weigh thought nor measure words, but pouring them all right out just as they are, chaff and grain together, certain that a faithful hand will take and sift them, keep what is worth keeping, and with a breath of kindness blow the rest away. And so I'm asking you to receive my submissions, my words, with your faithful hand and your breath of kindness. So now, let me share, and that's what I am. I'm a learner. I'm still just learning, and I'm a sharer. I just really want to share what has been released to me, and all this knowledge. I mean, it's like for 9 years now I have and getting okay, so let me just forgive me for pouring out, but I am here still in Ecuador, and it has just been revealed to me in my research. So I was abandoned in 2017 by my husband, and so so I have been here for 9 years. June the 12th, it'll be 9 years, with my head stuck in learning and studying the ancient pictographs. And so the commandments through the the word through different ancient, like the Ethiopian Bible has all the ancient books that have not been and we've been so deceived. Okay, so getting back to the commandments and this wonderful reminder that came to me on and they discuss the book of Anastasia, which I've read all this. And it says from book 4, in the beginning there was no matter, there was only living energy, elements. And I've studied with Dr. Denny Bengigi, and for years the understanding, it's not in let there be light, it's be light is the correct, which is energy and frequencies. And we're all of the emanations of source. I mean, it's just us. That's who we are. And so now we are being reconnected. We were just confounded. What they did is the otherworldly, the Anunnaki, they say, whatever, howsoever you want to, the demiurge and the archon, confounded us, and which is our language, so we wouldn't understand each other, and separated us. That's the story of the oh gosh, in Babylon. And so that's where we've been, humanity. And by the way, I just read a white paper on DNA, and there is no such thing as race. We're all of the same makeup, consanguine. It's called of the blood. We're all of the blood of the. But there's different layers. I understand now. They say there's three different. There's the hylix, whatever, and the pneumatics. Three different layers of humanity now that have been misled, and so we're the pneumatics. We're the star people, and then I understand being here on the equator. There is a celestial equator, and it totally mirrors precisely where I am. And I have seen the Hopi, and I just got through understanding the Hopi prophecies, the New Earth. I've got videos of the blue rays coming down right into my little sanctuary here, and that's the Hopi people of the blue planet, the blue stars, and I have just so much information to correlate, to confirm. Oh, Benai, that's the word. I've been asking for knowledge, for understanding, and in the ancient Sumerian artifacts, getting back to the celestial equator, I understand that the belt of Orion, there is a Mintaka star, and for some reason that has been put on my spirit. And then Yeshua, when he walked the Americas, he told, there's one Cherokee chief lady that said he told them he was from Venus, and reminding that's the only planet in our solar system that goes in the correct direction. So there's just so much that we
That's what I was going to say, Ginger. There, you are delivering so much. Perhaps you could bring this into the Keshe Plasma Reactor group if you're up at 7 AM CEST. This is very nice, but we have a sort of a, but leave it up to the Universal Council and Rick.
Okay. Well, and that's the thing. The council that's what I've been above an inner earth. I mean, Shambhala, think about all these, Agartha, think about all these inner earth, that Admiral Byrd just perfectly described. And they told him getting back to the war thing, knock it off. He was escorted. His plane was escorted. This is in his log. Escorted down by two spacecraft or whatever, and he had an audience with the master of the domain of Ariane, the North Pole inside, inner Earth, and the guy just said, "Hey, humanity was not meant to have these horrific, gosh, this nuclear weapons, atomic bombs. So go back up there and tell him to knock it off." Well, he did, and of course, this horrific people or entities that are in control of this planet and have been from the beginning, really, and others that have come down and messed with our DNA. I mean, we know the whole story. Um, and then the government threw him in the loony bin and then told him not to say a word, and so he didn't. And I've got his logs, I've got all the information, and that's who we need now. We need, really, I'm going to say, uh, as Jesus and all these others, these glorious ones, beautiful many who have gone before, we just need them to come on. We need them to appear and counsel up from above and below. I mean, we need the whole kit and caboodle. I love the Yeshua's prayer. Dr. Klotz has translated, and it speaks to, "O Birther Father, Mother of the Cosmos, focus your light within us, make it useful. Create your reign of unity now through our fiery hearts and willing hands. Help us to love beyond our ideals and sprout acts of compassion for all creatures. Animate the earth within us so that we feel the wisdom underneath supporting all. Untangle the knots within so that our hearts' simple ties to each other have been mended. Don't let surface things delude us, but free us from what has held us back from our true purpose." And I try to put it in the past tense because that's the manifestation of it. Thank you for freeing us. Thank you for animating the earth within us so that we can. Thank you for untangling the knots within so that our hearts' simple ties to each other have been mended. Thank you for not letting surface things delude us, but have freed us from what has held us back from our true purpose out of you, the astonishing fire, returning light and sound to the cosmos. Now, that's the cosmos, the universes, or whatever. Who we are part of is beyond measure. It's beyond all this. It's, man, that's who we are. And when we recognize ourselves, I am not of this realm. This realm has no claim, control, authority over who or what that I am. And then Spinoza said the same thing, ancient scholar in 1600s. It's the whosoever, whatsoever, howsoever, whensoever. It's all. It's the all in all, the ineffable. And it's so simple, really, when we understand that that's the basics and our purpose here. And for years, for some reason, I've been sprouting, "Oh, we're peace 5. Peace is hey, the fifth word in the ancient pictographs, the fifth letter that has meaning. It means reveal, show, behold, grace, mercy, what comes from spirit." I mean, if that don't nail us down, I don't know what to, and that's what we're missing. We're just missing the spirit. When the spirit is finally poured out, that's when everything's going to be a-okay. And it's so exciting, because I've been saying we are peace five. We're prepared, provided, powered, positioned, and protected. And then a couple of years ago, I heard operate only in the spirit, Ginge, and then take it to the 10th, which is yod, work, hand, deed. We are purposed, participating in the principalities of the purification process. And I mean,
Ginger, if I
yes.
may interrupt you a little bit, we have a sort of schedule and a time restriction and
Oh,
a
I'm
certain
sorry. Okay.
program here. And if
Yes.
you want to talk like this kind of discussion type of thing, I think as has been advised, it's best to go to the plasma reactor group, which runs for a long period of time, and
Okay.
you
Yes, and
can.
I thank you. I want to be sensitive. It's very important that I know, that people understand that, I understand the Spirit. I'm just being led by the Holy Spirit when I'm delivered up. The Spirit is speaking through me, and I am a sensible gal, and I do understand time frames here now. So I will, take your advice, and if you'll just, can do you have a chat where you can put it in the chat where I'm directed to go?
It's the
Well,
same
it's
number as this one.
Oh, okay. And what
no.
time?
It starts
Okay,
at
Rick,
7 a.m. Central European Summertime and goes to about noon in Central European Summertime. So I'm not sure if you can relate to Pacific time. It's the same as starts at 10 o'clock tonight in Pacific time, 10 o'clock p.m. Pacific, and will go to about 3 a.m. Pacific time.
Okay, so I'm on Central, so that would be 8 my time, correct?
I think that's the way it goes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I thank you so much, for the reminder, because it is so important that I be very sensitive to where I am, and I appreciate that. So I will now mute myself, and I will just listen. And it's what I say, no coinkydinks with our daddy God. With our daddy God or source or whatever. So I love you guys, and I will withdraw and listen, very respectfully.
Thank you,
Well,
Ginger.
thank you so much, Ginger. It's been very inspirational, and it's really helped this group here. This is what we need for input from people. We ask for people to open their microphones and speak, and this has been a lovely testimonial. And we've had similar in the public meeting for testimonials yesterday. We had a couple of guests that were relatively new knowledge seekers, and they opened up about why and how they came upon the Keshe Foundation plasma teachings. And it's always very interesting to see how people connect and reconnect and often. And I'll remind you that the only nation that has actually signed the World Peace Treaty is the Cherokee Nation of Indians, or known as the Nation of the Cherokee in America, or the Aniwayiwa Nation, something like that. I've got the document in my hands that was actually signed by the elders. 2 elders signed it on behalf of the Cherokee Nation of Indians. This was in July 24th of 2017. So that's about 9 years ago. And
Pardon me, let me just interject. I put my email in the chat, and I am a member of Kindred Spirits, that is the Irish and the Indigenous Native Americans connection too as well. So you see how we're circling up here, and then I'll just look for the information there, and then if it's tonight at 8, I'll show up there because this is where I've been led by the Holy Spirit. Okay, I'm out. Love you.
Hello. It's Nana for CUC support. If I can add something to what you said, we have a homework in here that we say, think good, act good, do good. Like in each moment, we can go back to, am I thinking positive, good for everybody? And we can correct this until it becomes habit. And also 2 notions of unconditional love, just give. And then the notion of servitude, being ready to serve and be a kind person. These are the things in actuality we can do simply every day to elevate our souls as homework. And always, I personally had something today, I didn't know new situation, what to do. And I said, I asked God to help me with that. And then I felt good because I didn't know what decision to make. So we can always ask Creator to be connected and to give us the inspiration, because we have a little bit of God inside us. So these are the practical things we can do easily, of being a kind person, servitude, and things like that. So thank you very much.
Okay, perhaps we should move on to our program here. I think we can skip. How about we go to the wishes and begin our wishes?
Thank you.
We, the Universal Council, give from our souls for having world peace and justice all over this planet very soon. This is our wish, and our wish is our command.
We, the Universal Council, give through our souls all the love always to all souls in existence. Our wish is our command. We are present.
with the peace arriving rapidly, we, the Universal Council, elevate the souls for their intelligent participation in the prosperity.
We, the Universal Council, wish for the continued development and expansion of the new plasma city hidden behind the game of peace and enlightenment, allowing the freedom of the physicality and the soul of humanity. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, give from our souls and invite all of humanity to elevate the soul of every leader in every nation to work as one soul in one direction to achieve peace as one nation, one planet, one race. And our wish is our command. We are present.
Next, we have the connection between souls with Mehran, I believe.
Yes, thank you. Oh, I love you, my soul. I live you and I love with you and adore you. Bring back for me what follows.
What allows Mehran?
What allows me to be perfect in the dimension of physicality. I think Mr. Keshe is so much in love when he says that the words come without using the normal grammar rules. I live you and I love with you and adore you. So I repeat again, it might be good when we feel down or depressed. It gives you kind of a harmony between soul of your physicality and soul of the math. So I do the connection. I think it's my in Farsi language, but it's in English. It's kind of we let go our souls. Our souls is that thing which we talked about, and we said, "I love to live with you." That you is my soul. That accompaniator of my physical body is my soul, which I love to live with. So I let that soul free and I connect with whatever same size, same level of soul, which is like us together, and we make a great ball of peace and we put it over the planet Earth. We together wish sincerely, wish really urgently having peace on Earth and then prosperity which comes after that. And probably traveling to space and having the vacations all over the universe. So I say it now in Farsi. ما هر شب ساعت 9 شب به وقت اروپا با هم یک وعده داریم که روحامون رو با هم تماس میدیم و این با تماس روحمون واقعا دنبال صلح هستیم و همه روحا با هم یک صدا آرزوی صلح در بشریت رو دارن. چون میدونیم وقتی که صلح در بشریت ایجاد شد، تکنولوژی های مدرن مثل تکنولوژی کشه و غیره برای همه بشر به کار خواهند رفت و احتمالاً تکنولوژی فضا هم که در دست هست به کار برده همه انسانیت میاد. بنابراین فقط میشینیم همونجا که هستیم یا وای میسیم و فقط چشمونو میبندیم یا چشم باز میذاریم روحمون بره با بقیه یکسان بشه و همه با هم، کسایی که با هم هستیم، کسایی که در عالم ندیدن با هم هستیم، برای صلح دعا میکنیم، برای روحامون رو به هم وصل میکنیم و یک چند لحظه در این حالت میمونیم. متشکرم. When we stay a little bit either by ourselves or any time of day together, we stay in this it is a state of assuming there's already peace on the earth, assuming we feel the peace on earth, assuming everybody is happy that we have found peace at last on the earth. So when we stay in this state for a while, and as long as we want, we stay, and then we finish it. Thank you.
Thank you, my Derek. This is the invitation for the 9 p.m. soul communication from wherever you are, from wherever you are. And we, the Universal Council, invite the Keshe and the Universal family present on earth in unifying at the soul level every time, every day at 9 p.m. CET, CEST time. So welcome and join in this oneness of one planet, one nation, one race for justice and world peace. And in the 9 p.m. communication, soul communication, please join with your heart and soul. And it can be always, as a soul is communicating always, as we are a part of the cosmic body. We, the Universal Council, give from our souls and invite all humanity to elevate the soul of every leader in every nation, to work as one soul in one direction to achieve peace, as one nation, one planet, one. Thank you so much. Gratitude, gratitude. Salam, namaste, salam. Now we can go to the next presentation, my dear.
Thank you, Sweta. I have a quick video of Mr. Keshe with an invitation to become part of the Universal Council. I'll play that now.
There's something which I should have made announcement. As we are structuring and in a new development of the Keshe Foundation, is worldwide application and implication. As we set up the structure for Universal Council, a number of Universal Council members have become old and they reach the age of 60, and they served during the 60 years they are there till 61. They to run the functionality of the operation of the what we call energy dimension, the Universal Council members, if you want to become, please consider and let your soul decide of many languages around the world, as these will be announced very soon internationally, and we expect the souls to serve. And if it's from the knowledge seekers who understand the technology with dimension of the soul, you can apply for to be added to and become a member of the Universal Council. The Earth Council is appointed by the Keshe Foundation on the grounds of true structure of the nationality, understanding the culture that there is no prejudice by physical dimension of the borders. And so if you feel your soul is there to serve humanity in expansion and the growth of it, just apply for it at the Keshe Foundation, or send the email to info@keshe.foundation, say I would like to be a member of the Universal Council. We receive this regularly, and now we going to expand this very rapidly due to what is to come and what is to be done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my Derek. Thank you, Shriman Mehran. Shashwat Pranam. And I also welcome, this is a call as Your soul will decide how to be here and to search humanity to elevate. And this is the time. This is the only time we have. So welcome to join the Universal Council support and Universal Council membership of Keshe Foundation. So much welcome. Thank you so much. And we also invite you to connect with a member of the Universal Council to send us Council and Universal Council support to send us your questions to be answered. Altogether, I want to say that, well, we are all knowledge seekers. We are all learning, my dear beautiful souls. You can share, we can share with each other, discuss many, many beautiful things, share love, help, to be kind to each other. This is the time. And as everything is in the newness, my dear ones, we are all uplifting ourselves, rejuvenating ourselves. So if all souls are rejuvenating ourselves this time, maybe they don't even know. So please join in the different language of Telegram of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization. With your own language, you can ask, speak, discuss, share love, my dear one, your experiences. So be there and welcome to the Telegram groups of different languages. So beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us as one soul. Salam, namaste, salute, dear beautiful.
All right, perhaps we can take a moment to ask if there's any of our attendees have any questions or comments at this moment that they would like to impart. And I'd also like to mention to Ginger that I believe it will be the Keshe Plasma Reactor group will start at midnight tonight, Central European time. Or Central time, not Central European. Central time, which is 2 hours ahead of Pacific time, and it starts at 10 p.m. Pacific, so it should be at midnight. So it'll go from midnight to about 5 a.m. Your time, Ginger, which may or may not coincide with your schedule.
Pardon me for bopping in, but yes, absolutely. I mean, this is no coincidence, doobie squatcher that's been plunked in, and I shall be there with bells on. And thank you, my darlings. I'm gonna leave this with my little spirit leaping for joy.
Thank you very much for being here, and we look forward to your presence in the Keshe Plasma Reactor group. All right, let's carry on to our next position here. We have a short video from the last Knowledge Seekers workshop about the agricultural, understanding the agricultural process and the process of the feeding. So let me play that now.
The center, as it is and is gradually taking shape, it's taken months and months to bring it to what it is. It's not there to grow seeds. It's there to create seeds, structures of what we call vertical people, that we can understand the operation of the soul. How? By changing the environment, we change them, and then understanding this, we take the central energy to become the seed for feeding the mankind in the universe. In a way, we are packing the bag for man to be ready to travel the span of universe with the memories, the structure of his soul, his energy part, which is connected to the energy levels of the matter of this planet. This is the purpose of this center, is not to make a lettuce and carrots and cucumbers. Is first of all to create a system that we work with the central energy of the what we call vertical people, and not with the matter state. You will see more and more There's a new video which we will show next week, how we structuring. These products are not there for sale to make profit. These products, the way we set things up is to show that there's an alternative. And same time, we change that the man does not need to eat the lettuce. By touching the lettuce, it takes the energy. The world peace, unification of the man with universal community, understanding of the completion of the cycle of the creation. Hopefully, if everything fits, by the session of the 666, humanity will enter a new dimension. And this is the time which has been promised in all your holy books. We are here to deliver. Don't forget, you produce energy of an apple. 1 penny soon will give you that energy of the apple. And we're learning more. And we have to be correct because we're setting the structure for the future. That in managing the spin-offs, we don't create the thieves of the future stealing technology from one country to another, one company to another. It stays within the soul, or stays within the structure, and it has to be correct. Our conduct creates the thieves of the future, or the people who are part of the participation of the future.
Okay, that's our short excerpt from the last 645th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And now I have another excerpt. It's not an excerpt, actually. It's an AI-assisted video overview of the information in the last Knowledge Seekers Workshop. So this is one of Ed's creations. And just let me get that lined up here. There we go. So it's called Decoding the 645th Knowledge Seekers Workshop.
Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something truly fascinating and honestly highly abstract. We're decoding KSW 645. This is a session from the Keshe Foundation's teachings, and let me tell you, it presents a massive, esoteric vision of human biology, evolution, and the cosmos as a whole. I'll be your guide as we unpack these dense metaphysical concepts together, breaking them down into a clear, structured look at where the text says we are now and what it proposes is our ultimate evolutionary destiny. So let's jump right in. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll be covering 1, the physical planetary jail, 2, humanity as the cancer, 3, blood versus lymph physiology, 4, the power of breath, and finally, number 5, the vertical evolution. We just wake up to kill. Wow, the source material hits us right out of the gate with this incredibly provocative premise. It basically argues that our everyday biological need to consume physical matter just to survive is, inherently, a destructive act. It's a pretty radical way to set the stage for the profound physical and spiritual shift the Foundation is proposing, isn't it? So let's start with part 1, the physical planetary jail, and what it means to be trapped in the dimension of physicality. Looking right at the source text here, you'll notice it mentions a lot of excitement in the field of agriculture. But, and this is key, the Foundation's goal here isn't traditional farming. We aren't talking about growing better carrots or lettuce. Instead, the text proposes creating a system to actually understand the operation of the soul. The ultimate aim? To, quote, pack the bag for humanity. It's all about preparing the soul and its memories to travel the vast span of the universe, moving way beyond basic earthly farming. So why are we stuck here in the first place? Well, the text describes Earth as this vacuum condition that literally demands physical matter. It likens our planet to a compression pot. We're bound to this sort of planetary jail simply because our human physiology currently relies entirely on the matter state. We need physical cells to survive, right? And we fulfill that requirement by consuming physical food, matter from the environment around us. Which brings us to part 2, humanity as the cancer and the metastases of behavior. If we look closely at this specific passage, the source outlines how mankind's continuous need to consume creates absolute mayhem. In fact, the text literally describes human behavior, our need to destroy living things for our own sustenance, as that first cancer cell in the work of the universe. It's boldly asserting that humanity has effectively become a killing machine. It views this behavior as a secondary cancer, a metastasis, that has to be completely uprooted using the knowledge of creation. Let's break down the everyday examples the text uses to build this argument. They call it the cycle of consumption. The source argues that 24 hours a day we are locked in this endless loop of destruction. Think about it. Breakfast might be cereal or milk, lunch is a steak or maybe a bowl of rice, and dinner just continues the pattern. And what's really fascinating here is that the text frames both carnivore and vegetarian diets as being part of the exact same relentless murder system. The source states that destroying 100 grains of rice is essentially destroying 100 souls. So it's an inescapable cycle of harm as long as we rely on physical matter. Let's shift gears to part 3, blood versus lymph physiology, exploring the dual nature of man. Okay, so the text claims human physiology is fundamentally split into 2 separate systems. On one side, you have the red liquid, the blood. This connects directly to the mouth, to physicality, and to that act of killing for consumption we just talked about. But on the flip side, you have the clear liquid, the lymph. The text connects the lymph to the nose, to the soul, and most importantly, to absorbing universal energy. And this is energy that is freely given rather than taken by force. Now, KSW 645 actually redefines modern medicine's understanding of the human heart to fit this duality. The text asserts that medical science has basically hit a wall and fundamentally misunderstands blood pressure. According to the source, the heart actually has chambers specifically designed for the lymph. It even claims that the lower number on your blood pressure reading, it doesn't measure physical blood at all. It says it actually measures the pressure of the lymph, the energy that's feeding the soul. To explain exactly how this universal energy is meant to be received, the text uses a really beautiful, nurturing, maternal metaphor, the kiss of the mother. The absolutely crucial point here is that universal energy is meant to be freely given to feed the soul, exactly like a mother nursing and gently kissing her newborn child. The text asks a pretty profound question. Why do you kill for sustenance when you have already been, quote, kissed by the Creator with infinite, freely available universal energy? Moving on to part 4. The power of breath and feeding the universal soul. So how do we actually do this? The Keshe Foundation proposes a specific method of energetic transmutation. Step 1, calm the soul and bring your emotion under control. Step 2, use the rhythm of your breathing to connect to those universal energies. And step 3, absorb the energy you need without destroying physical matter. The text claims that by simply using the breath and the nose, humanity can bypass the mouth's physical consumption entirely. We can tap directly into cosmic rays to feed the body. But what actually acts as the bridge in this whole process? Well, the text identifies emotion as the magnetic key to physical reaction. Emotion is the controlling mechanism here. It bridges the gap between the physical brain, which the text says protects the soul, and the soul itself, which is what absorbs the universal energy. So the source states that by mastering our emotion and our conscious breathing, we can entirely dictate how our physicality reacts and exactly what it absorbs from the universe around us. And finally, part 5, the vertical evolution, becoming universal beings. The culmination of this entire teaching is a massive paradigm shift toward becoming what the text defines as vertical people. These are beings or structures that operate by absorbing central energy directly from their environment. By mastering this vertical evolution, humanity supposedly bypasses the need to consume physical matter completely. We shift away from being these matter-bound consumers, and we become beings who literally feed on energetic fields. It's a real game changer. The text details the end goal of this vertical evolution, speaking to a manifestation of promised knowledge aimed at unifying all of humanity into a universal community. It even sets a really fascinating timeline. It expresses this hope that by session 666, humanity will have matured enough to step into this entirely new dimension of existence. The ultimate reward for this evolution is huge. As the source promises, this is your jail-free card on the Monopoly game of the universe. The text asserts that by mastering the lymph, controlling the breath, and truly connecting to the Creator's freely given energy, humanity can finally transcend that physical planetary jail we talked about at the very beginning of this explainer. It is a vast, sweeping vision of human potential, and it leaves us with one incredibly compelling final thought. Will humanity remain trapped in the physical jail, forever reliant on that relentless cycle of consumption? Or will we learn to harness the breath, master our emotions, and evolve to become vertical people, feeding the universal soul? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep questioning, keep learning, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, that was our AI version of decoding the 645th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. I hope you enjoyed it. And now we have the knowledge and understanding from the 645th Knowledge Seekers Workshop, brought to you by humans, specifically Stefania and or Mark. See.
Hey, good afternoon. Rick, can you hear me? Because I got no headphone and it's very windy here, so I don't know.
Yeah, we hear you. We don't hear the wind, so that's good.
Perfect. Yes, so it was really lovely, actually. Well done to the summary. I think the artificial intelligence getting, the AI getting more, she's learning too.
Yeah, it's almost making me feel, Stefania, that the AI is not so bad after all.
She's learning. She's a knowledge seeker.
Becoming intelligent.
I like the way she explains stuff. Obviously, I always recommend to go in and read more, because each one of us will have a different understanding. So even AI is her point of view of things. So
this sounds pretty choppy, Stefania. So if you can prevent the wind or make it short.
Somebody else. I'm gonna be very short, and I can leave somebody else to take over. I just wanted to say that it's again another very good workshop. It goes into the importance of like you heard, by killing, how it's important to learn the absorption of the cosmic ray. So Mr. Keshe has gone very in details on why the cosmic ray are important. And there's something new I didn't know was even the water is a way of absorption of the cosmic ray, and the color, the blue, it's very important. Nothing is for random. Everything's got a deep meaning. And then another things I really like when you said about regarding the vegetables, that it's not just to sell in cabbage, but it's to, or lettuce, it's to understand better how to feed the central energy system of a plant. And all the system of the Keshe Foundation are aiming to feed in the soul, like the soul of man, soul of the plants, soul of the animals. So slowly, it's gonna start his work on the fish, and they will show us more and more sector regarding the space city and what they're up to with the research. They're always looking for researchers, and they want to collaborate with universities, with projects that are for humanity. So they always give away the info at keshe.foundation, and they always looking for funding because the project is so big. My understanding now they're gonna expand they're gonna start some research project in Romania. They're looking for a big land in Romania. So a lot of good stuff will come out of there too. So we can see how from China, we're going into Europe, and I bet it's gonna really, I think it's gonna catch fire, because really people waiting for this. And it goes a lot more into the physiology of the man. There are a lot of talk about how the heart work, how the function of the heart and the high blood pressure. So it's really very good knowledge to have, because he said it's very important to understand the body. So we need to get deeper on, get to know ourselves. And something I really like in the second part, it's when going to the sound and going to the humming. He said that, for someone even have difficulty breathing, because as you hear from the AI talk about the importance of the breathing, and Mr. Keshe will talk more in deep about the importance of the breathing. How can we regulate transmutation by making this Faraday cage? We can make one every time we're going to sleep. So it's good. How can we isolate, for example, the physicality to allow the environment to create a transmutation? So a lot of good tips for us to learn how to transmute. And also, I really like how it goes into the nostril, into the importance of the vibration, sounds, the senses, again, cosmic ray, colors. Really good. I really recommend it. So I'm not gonna go further. There are lots I didn't say. So I invite you to go and listen. And I leave you because it's very windy. So if Marco, Dino, anyone want to add anything that I missed out, please do. Yeah, one thing I want to say before I go. This is really important. I really want to say this because I felt it on my skin when I break my ankle. It's recalling the emotion. So it was talking Mr. Keshe on, it reminded me to be like the replication cup, when he was saying the importance of the emotion for us, and how it's important to be able to replicate them. So he was talking about the restaurant where he did his food, and he managed to replicate the feeling, the sensation, and the environment, whatever happened that moment. And we can do all this. We got really stress on the power that we have inside. We got everything we need inside us. We just learn how to use it. It's like washing machine without instruction. We just get in the instruction now to use it. So yeah, so the replication of the emotion, that is very important, because he used a lot to keep her body healthy, and I done that too. When I broke my ankle, I avoided 3 operations just by recalling the feelings of the ankle, and I got good rehabilitation out of that. So it does work. Someone that is not from the Keshe Foundation, just a pure friend, he was talk about this guy called Spencer. I don't know if you heard about him, but he is a guy who he been able to regrow part of his spine who was damaged by going to this zone where he could connect with his body and visualize step by step the reconstruction of the bones that was destroyed by the accident. And he managed to regrow, and then he had many other people to regrow organs. So it's pretty famous. I wish him could meet up Mr. Keshe and maybe go into the research group. So anyone if you know this Spencer and know how to get in contact with him, I think would be a great person to go in this space center, because Mr. Keshe need about the people who can make a change with research. And okay, this light you see, even in the draw you see now, everything counts, even the color of the light, everything, the space, the height, the position. It's really, really lots of work going to this. Okay, thank you so much. And I want to thank you, every knowledge seeker who is involved with this change. Thank you so much.
So I can add also to what she said. What I understood is that he wants to show us that we don't have to kill because the grain of rice has its soul, has its life, and the meat has beef has its soul before we kill him and things like that. So maybe we can learn how to use the energy of their soul by being close to them, by respecting them without killing them. So that's one thing. And that he said the same thing we see in creation of man, plants, everything, galaxy, and the universe. It's all the same law. It's all the same pattern. It's just the size and the continents which is different. So you learn one, you observe one thoroughly, then you put it on the whole other things you want to study. So this was, because sometimes so much things are separated, I cannot by heart say one after another. So, but that was interesting. And what he's doing also is interesting. It's not just talking. He is doing it, he's acting, and he's making life of people in the earth more easy and more happy. Thank you.
And also working toward the perfection of the souls of the plants in a way, by selecting the very best of the breeds of the plants and possibly even animals. He's talked about finding the best original breeds of chickens, for example, and of various plants to get the original heirloom type seeds that are pure, and that way start the souls in as much of a pure environment as possible, as well as pure DNA. And that way it's more of a direct connection, I think, with the source from it all.
Rick, it's Dean here. If I can just say a few words as well. So I'm just reading through the Knowledge Seekers workshop, the 645th, and some of the things that Mr. Keshe is speaking about are we don't realize all forms of consumption when you physically eat matter, we are consuming beings. And Mr. Keshe has spoken about this a few times, and I know many vegetarians, we all believe that we're so wonderful because we don't eat the animals. However, it works slightly different to what you would imagine. So everything has a soul. So when you eat a bowl of rice, you're actually consuming many souls. Many, many souls have to give to you, and you have to balance for this. When you eat an animal, let's say a chicken or any animal, but let's say, and you share the meat on the table amongst everybody, and the man or the woman who, the family member, whoever is making this food, if they're doing it in the right conditions, in the right way, you're consuming a very beautiful soul in the correct manner, in the correct way. So, and these lettuces and all that we see on the screen, they have a soul, and they've been bred, or they've been conditioned, they've been energized, they've received the beauty and the blessing of the origin. So they have no genetic modification within their structure. We all consume many, many items, and it's been spoken about many times where if a free range chicken, for instance, is free range, it has a very healthy life. It's free as a soul. It's the way it should be. And the meat, when you consume it, you're consuming a beautiful energy. When an animal is constrained within an environment amongst other animals, and it's not, it's not living its best potential life. It's not free. It's in a cramped environment, manufactured. And this meat is totally different. The energies you consume because you're consuming a soul in physicality, have a very direct effect on what you will feel and how you will experience things. So this is why when, as people get more and more aware of things, they tend to move away from this very heavily processed food substances. And if you notice that many corporations around the world are starting to buy up huge swathes of land and huge environmental conditions, and then it will probably be taken over by AI. And then there's a gradual ongoing process here. These laboratories that the Keshe Foundation have developed are taking the origin of creation and teaching humanity to receive the energy in a different way. So it's not just physically chewing. That's an emotion. Chewing is an emotion. So when we consume that, whatever we're chewing, it has, a feeling. You sat around the table with all your friends and family and whatever, and you're chewing away, you're laughing, you're having fun. It's an emotion. So emotions play a big part. So if this soul of the lettuce has an emotion, and it's a very happy being, bred in complete beauty, and we know that our vertical friends like to give to us unconditionally. That's being the vegetation, the plants, the trees, all these sorts of vertical people, as we call them. Mr. Keshe calls them. We receive a certain energy from them, and they give to us unconditionally. It's like when someone goes to cut a plant, the plant instinctively pulls back because it knows it's about to be have part of its body removed. It's a soul; it understands this. And humanity, the teachings are out there, but what you receive and what you come to know is a gradual process, drip by drip, drop by drop. But the understanding will come to all of us eventually. You will come to understand how the interactions that we have create environments. These plasma interactions that we see, Mr. Keshe, and all the scientists, all the plasma scientists are creating, are changing the very structure of the emotions of knowledge seekers. And we all know that a knowledge seeker is all of us. We're all present. We're all physical beings. We're all souls having this experience. And we all gradually come to know. Now, if you have a certain way of dealing with animals or vegetation, or however you consume it, how you slaughter it, or whatever you do, these are all, they all come from theology, most of it. Not all, but most of it comes from a condition of something that's been given to us, a faith, a belief in something. So the faith and the belief now is the knowledge that is from the universe, a universal condition to enhance humanity, to teach, to give unconditionally for you to receive the knowledge of creation. Outside of the planet, your soul doesn't need to feed physically. Your physical body, 20% is your requirement on planet Earth to feed your physical body. 80% comes from the atmosphere, the plasmas all around us. And then it's the amino acids that we consume that are part of the elements of the vegetation and indeed the animals, those beautiful souls that give unconditionally. And some of them, in different parts of the world, there are pets, there are friends. We would never think to eat them. And yet in another part of the world, they're a food substance. Completely a food substance, not without a second thought. Who's right and who's wrong? Because if everything has a soul, we cannot get away from the interaction of consuming food that takes the life, the essence of another. So these souls, these beings are given unconditionally for us to be present in our physical form. And many of us love our physicality, myself included. And we need this sometimes. However, the technology is moving so fast and the implications are vast that gradually the knowledge seekers will share this understanding, this knowledge with everybody. And we will come to understand that we don't need to consume in that way. Of course, for many generations, this will take place. And it's a gradual process. As the Earth changes its position in its magnetic fields around the sun, and consumption of foods change, the elements change as we get closer to the sun. The interactions are different. The plants and the animals get different energies. They become they elevate more. They become more energized, and as we consume this, we will feel it. So the more that the control systems try to close this down, The soul always finds a way to open things. And as we've come to know, we can see through the conditions of the wars that have been taking place. The interactions change. It's a constant giving and taking. It's a constant flow. And it's a bit like eating a grain of rice. Is it one grain or is it a bowl? And where does it stop? What does it achieve? It's all a position of realizing that we are part and we have no choice of something much bigger. And I've said this many times, and I know many of the knowledge seekers know all this information very much so. Mr. Keshe was also talking about, in many ways, the lymph of mankind, and how if we regulate and we understand what the lymph is within the body structure, it controls and gives to us many energies. It's a very vital, important piece of the function of mankind. It controls many possibilities in the body of man. How we control blood, the breath, how we sleep. And Mr. Keshe goes on about how it's almost like a Faraday box. It controls the vitamins. So when you focus on teaching about the lymph, you're connecting to the creator. Mr. Keshe is a nuclear scientist, and I believe he's probably the top nuclear scientist on planet Earth, if not well beyond this. And he's teaching us, he gives us little bits of information, and the knowledge seekers have to put these bits of information together. And then we come up with a bigger picture. We never receive anything unless we commit to it. We go to the next level. We actually, we connect with that grain of rice, with that lettuce, with that chicken, with that soul. And remember, that soul has been created in this environment of planet Earth and been given a soul by the Creator. And no belief or faith can change that. That middleman that tells you which way to slaughter an animal or what to do is the middleman. My understanding is of being present directly with the Creator. And when I connect like that, I sense and I feel it. I know it. I understand it a little, not all of it. I know nothing, but I know a little bit. And I think we all sense this. So within the teachings of the foundation, there's so much vast knowledge. It's like Mr. Keshe said many times, it will take humanity centuries to unravel it. But the more we interact with it, the more we give to it, the more we will receive. We receive the knowledge. And that's the beauty of it. Mr. Keshe said a little while ago, I remember in some of the teachings, he spoke about how the way the wars are going and what they've done, what they've been doing, how it will change. The soul will change the condition, the environment. And I've been viewing and watching things as I do in the background, and you can sense it, you can feel it. Have you noticed the amount of souls that are present that have suddenly said, no, enough, no more? Have you noticed the way that the interactions of the ones that are doing wrong, it's coming back against them? It's a cancerous cell. It's a plasma where you can only take so much before it consumes itself. This is the interaction of feeding. And you can feed emotion or you can feed compassion and beauty, or you can feed fear and just continually take and take from all. However, there will always be a balance for that grain of rice as a soul, whether it is present in physicality or at the point where the jacket is released, the human body, or or what of the being that is present within that physicality. The teachings of Mr. Keshe is that it's not through a devil or a creation. It's you will face yourself. You will be your own judge of yourself. And that will be one of for many, the hardest things you will ever have to come to accept. And that is the beauty of creation. There is no judgment other than with yourself at that point, at that moment. So the knowledge, we see simple pictures on the screen. We see, as I said, lettuces in environments of condition of bringing about a beautiful, wonderful, energized, incredible soul. And then we have to gradually come to understand the interactions. As we consume, maybe say, these lettuces on the screen, I think because they're a very elevated soul, and they've been brought into this environment with intention. I think if we consume them, we will be elevated. We will receive a gift from the Creator through this process. And then the next stage on will be a gradual process where the foundation is already doing this. We know this. With the units and many other technologies where you can receive the energy in a different way. You don't physically need to chew it, although many of us will need to, because it's the emotion that we love. We love to eat. We love to be present. And the whole of the culture is built around eating, for most of humanity. So this is going to be a long, slow process. But the understanding of the responsibility of your own actions. So that is the transmutation process of being present, understanding your breath that we spoke about earlier, understanding there's many things. The lady was speaking earlier, Ginger, she was speaking about all these things she feels and senses, and that's beautiful. And then wonderful, wonderful knowledge. However, the addition to her knowledge will be understanding the process of the enlightenment channel of the Universal Council that is from the totality that has some incredible knowledge to share. And bit by bit, it's being shared. And humanity will are in the process of going through this. We are present. That's what we say is the Universal Council. The Earth Council have, I'm sure, many other ways to say things. And they're very connected to being present in physicality and helping humanity. And I'm sure in the times to come, the Earth Council will be part of a much bigger picture on planet Earth. They will guide humanity for humanity to become extremely peaceful, because you will have no choice. It's a slow process. The soul of the Creator is present always, and you cannot walk away from it. Time doesn't exist outside of the planet Earth. So when we come to understand that, the process is here For us, it might be a lifetime. A lifetime. Outside of planet Earth, it's like a star shooting through the night sky. It's instantaneous. But we come to know it as a lifetime. But it's instant. Time does not exist. So when you connect with that, you connect with your breath, you connect with your lymph, and many other things. Again, you need to dig into the teachings like we all do. And if you ask your soul what you need to know, your soul will guide you to exactly the right word, page, sentence, whatever it is you need. I've found this very many times with the teachings of the foundation. You can literally just open anything, start looking through the vast informations that are there, and you will find more than one thing that is exactly what you need in that moment. And these teachings are, ongoing, and they've been ongoing for many years now. So ancient knowledge, ancient wisdom of all the various creeds and colors and peoples of the earth, we're all present in the moment. We're all consuming that grain of rice or that chicken or whatever it is. But we are starting to now realize and come to understand the importance of the soul, the real importance of the soul. And I know, again, looking at this image on the screen, Stefania mentioned it earlier, and it's very, very true. The colors. The colors are so important. Every single color has a reason. It connects to us. It either gives to us or takes from us. And it's a very, why do you think in certain positions within a celestial or churches and other things, that the colors through the windows and things are very important? Or they used to be. I think since somebody got involved with the production of oil and things, many things have changed. There's been old families on this planet that have changed many things over the years to stay in control. However, as I spoke about earlier, that can't really continue. It's an impossibility because humanity is now starting to receive different energies. And as we transmute and become part of an ever-expanding position of magnetical forces rotating around the planet, from going closer into the sun, we are going to receive different energies. And I know that, back when, a long time ago, when the Earth was further out, we had much larger animals. The physicality was bigger. And as we move closer in, the magnetic fields, everything gets smaller. So from an atom to a universe is fields of interactions. And you can look at it as the consumption of a grain of rice, or you can give from your soul to the grain of rice and receive an elevation. So visual and verbal is for man to come to understand. And also the next stage is the energy stage, the conversion of matter to energy and back. And that's part of the process of the foundation. And we thank you all, the Universal Council, Earth Council, all the members are present, all the knowledge seekers, and the beautiful work you do. And keep doing it, because it's astonishing how far we've come and the position we find ourselves in right now that is changing and has changed in this precise moment, humanity, and is elevating us all into a wonderful position of the beauty of creation. Thank you all for listening. I'm sorry if I took up a bit too much time, but I suppose I needed to say these things. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Rick. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Dean. Let's move on to the next thing here. I think we can move into the
yes,
transmutation time with Moshfek. Are you ready for transmutation, Moshfek?
Hi, Rick. How are you doing with the time? Because should we do it today?
I think we can do that. Maybe we can. Well, I think we have time for everything, more or less.
Okay, let's see. I'll try to. I'm usually not that long, but this will be a little longer. But let's see how we go.
Sure, go for it.
I may move something for next week. All right. So let's do it. And what I will do is that I'll share my screen right now. So I have drawn a picture, and that will be share. Where is share? Share used to be down here. I don't see share.
You may find it under host tools or go.
Okay. I found something.
They have changed it, yes.
All right. I am using faded colors, but is it visible? That's the first question, but
yes, we see some images.
So I drew two circles, and one is kind of obscured by a rectangular shape. So let me explain a little bit before. It's essentially the same thing that I talked about last time, but we'll extend it further. So the top circle that we have is the soul of man. And the bottom circle, what I will do is I'll change the opacity of it, and you can see the bottom circle a little better. Okay, so yes. So the bottom circle is the soul of physicality. Now, as we know, the soul of physicality is essentially immersed in water. The part that we knew about, the blood, the so-called red stuff, actually blood is not red as we know it, because it becomes red when we come outside, but inside it's not red. So this is and this is the decoy that we have been, the red is very dramatic, and we are moved by it, and all that. And the thing is that now we know the real stuff is going on with the lymph. So when we get cut, the blood comes out in large amount, but the lymph comes out in a very little amount, which is the transparent liquid, which is responsible for transferring energy from the food we consume and then transferring this energy to the bone marrow, and then creating all the blood corpuscles and things like that, and feeding the rest of the physicality. So the energy within the lymph is getting converted to physicality in the factory that is our bone marrow. So, but here so we have water, but two kinds of water. One is the blood and one is the lymph. Now, last time we spoke about water, hydrogen being the hydrogen part of the water being the connection to the creator, oxygen is the physicality aspect that's holding things together in physicality form, the gravitational field. Now, in between, as we know, there is a cosmic ray connection with the water. So the water itself is a conveyor of cosmic energy, because I'll repeat this again because It's very important because when oxygen is 16, hydrogen is 2. If you subtract 2 from 16, it's 14 cosmic ray field. That's carbon 14 that's coming down to us from the heavens, let's call it that. And then, so now, and our physicality is immersed in this magical fluid connected the creator and the planet and the cosmic ray. And the interesting thing is that, people have done experiments with water and how saying good things on water benefits the health, and Emoto has done tests with the crystallization of water. I love you does beautiful crystal. I hate you creates broken crystals. So we know a lot now, but this water is within us, both in the physicality as blood, physicality, energy transfer, as well as energy transfer in the plasma level through the lymph. And our food energy goes through lymph. So now that we know that we have so much envelope, probably is the best word I can think of right now, in water, maybe we should think about a little more what we are doing with this water. Mehran, a little while back, mentioned think good, speak good, and do good. Part of the teaching that we are all familiar with, those who are knowledge seekers workshop and knowledge seekers. So these are not some words to frame it and hang it on the wall. These things, the think good, the intention, speak good, the vibration, and action is further expression of this into the physicality. All of these affect the water. So why this water effect is so important? The water is conveying all the energy, good, bad, and ugly. But if we can keep the water clean and pure through our good thoughts, good words, and good action, it makes a huge difference. Let's talk about why it makes a huge difference. The emotions that are at the soul of man level are those emotions that are unnamed and for most part unknown, because we don't even acknowledge, most of us don't acknowledge the existence of the soul. But now that we know, we can tap into this emotion. But how do we know these emotions? These are unnamed, unknown. Well, the emotions that are on the soul of physicality side, that which is immersed in both kinds of water, are a reflection of those emotions in the water, so to speak. Now, if the reflection in the water, as I kind of drew this box here, which is kind of this kind of representation of water. Now, if our thoughts are dirty, the reflection is barely visible. As we clean it little by little, or by a lot in applying life and energy fields, we can see it better. But when the water is clean, we can see the emotions that we are familiar with, reflecting the emotions at the soul level. So if we are to recognize and use the emotions that exist at the soul level, we have to have our water cleaned up. And those three statements need to be implemented in order to achieve that. Clean up our water so that we can see the reflection of emotions. And as we know, the dirty water does not produce the kind of emotion that creates beautiful crystals, not the broken ones. So let's talk a little bit about practical aspects of it. Now, once we can transfer energies directly to the lymph, we don't need to consume. That we have talking about it today quite a bit. And and it's not that difficult. I've been testing for the last 2 years. And I'll share a little bit of my experience with it. Yes, we can consume food, solid food, liquid food, whatever. And then we can go through that enhancement unit or have direct energy transferred to us from the lettuce that we saw that are being produced. So this is the plasma technology CEST to help us transfer the energy directly. And at the beginning, I did a few times, connect with the enhancement unit while I was starting out. But then I started doing it on my own, and I didn't need to connect at all. So nowadays, now I eat one day and I skip one day and then eat one day because I live with other people. So it's difficult to do it with people who are eating and already are pretty upset with me, but it's okay. The thing is that it's possible. It's doable. I still do miss some of the emotional components to it, but it's getting better. I can reproduce the emotion. I can recall the emotions. So it's possible to do that part too. But we have to, even if we are able to do it, we have to be very cognizant or sympathetic towards those who are yet ready to do it. Because people have been used to eating for a long, long time. Yes, there are some mystics or, yogis or dervishes that have done it. And I've seen people capable of it. And, I'm part of the Indian subcontinent, so it's not unusual to come across these guys. So it's possible, and perhaps that makes it easier for me to practice it because I know, yes, I've seen people that are capable of doing it. But anybody can do it. I did not go through breathing. That's one thing I'll say. I went completely through soul level intention. But I have noticed since the discussion of breathing has come up that my breathing changes without me knowing about changing the breathing. So it's an interesting thing that the soul level field strength is affecting physicality, even when I didn't know how to focus on breathing, but it was doing it. The energy field itself is strong enough to change the breathing pattern. It's quite interesting that this happens. So, and I don't feel hungry at all, even when I eat or don't eat. In either case, there is no hunger. But I can eat as much as I want, especially when I'm eating with friends or family or something. But at the same time, you know, I'm living in two worlds at the same time, and it's kind of interesting that you know, it's not confusing, but it makes you think about the possibility. At the same time, it makes you think about those who are seeing you do it. And for some people, it's very hard. Some people, it's easier. And I know some people who are watching me, they are starting their own practice. So we shall see. We can't move from it completely. I mean, Keshe Foundation technology will provide a really interesting assistance in achieving this. Perhaps we can speed up quite a bit this process of transitioning from food to no food. But it's possible to do it without any assistance. So this is not like something outstanding. I'm a simple person, and it's done through simply through intention. And no, I mean, I didn't apply any breathing technique. You know, I've heard, you know, the yogis talk about breathing and all that to do these kind of things, but was it necessary? Not for me. But it is there implicitly in a way. So let's see. I mean, how far is transmutation after this? We shall find out one step at a time. So I hope, I mean, I gave some kind of like theoretical kind of thing about soul of man and soul of physicality. And also I shared my own experience of doing it in practice. Theory is all fine and good. When it works in practice, that's when I completely believe in a theory. I mean, that's generally my nature, but you know, it works. So thank you very much. And if anyone has any question or further wants to comment on it.
Yeah, Mushfaq, I would like to comment.
Yes. Yes,
but I don't know if you can hear me properly, or can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can
okay,
hear
yes. For me, I found very interesting in this workshop and in the last workshop regarding what you just explained now. The micro and macro are the same. So what you explain now. So in the last workshop, you said that they when start to understand how the sea absorbing the cosmic ray, and there is a process of conversion where they're absorbing this cosmic ray into the water, and also they have another mechanism where they have another process of conversion where they also reflect the cosmic ray into the solar system. So really this importance on the color of the water that you said, you know, when you talk about the crystal, the water crystal, no? So I was thinking, even in the sea, we got all these water crystals. And when you were saying polluted water, clean water. So I was thinking, yeah, we can use that analogy of the ocean absorbing the cosmic ray and having an important place as a position in the solar system as a Earth with a blue color is also a disinfectant. He said sterilized. I don't remember now the word he used, but I was thinking, and then he did. But it's the same. The water that you go in the ocean is the same you have in the cup, like Maranes was saying. It's the same one you have in the glass of water, and the same you have in the jar, in a spoon. So I was thinking, like you said, it's the same one. It's the same water we have in our body. So if we start, and there it makes more sense when Mr. Keshe talk about the absorption of the cosmic ray in the body, and this. So we can do the same. We can absorb cosmic ray through the water inside us, and we can reflect it out as well, and we can do a lot of stuff, creating a lot of stuff like the earth do. And this blood differentiation between the blood to be the cage of the soul, and then when we go to sleep, the lymph can be the cage of the physicality. Then I was thinking, because we were talking about this Fahrenheit box that we can create with our body. So I was thinking this Fahrenheit box could be made by the lymph, if you can control by breathing the beat, with the heart chamber. It's got the both. It's got the heart, and it's got the blood. It's got the lymph, and that is the control area, you can say, to maybe by the beat, regulating the beat, the breathing, for example, how you can switch from making the cage being the blood for the soul during the day, and maybe how we can build the cage for the physical soul to be contained when the soul of the man we transmute, no? So a lot of this was really good at school. And also the last things was also regarding last workshop, when it talk about also go back to being also the connection, the fact of the souls. So we are, each one of us got soul, and all the soul together make the soul of the planets, the soul of physicality of the planet. So, and the soul of physicality of the man is all the souls of the cell. So this really empowers you as well, because there's always the micro and macro are the same. And again, you can use that analogy, even in the soul connection that we do every day, to strengthen that soul of physicality of the planet. And then we can interact with the soul of physicality of the planet, with the soul of physicality of the soul of the planet, that will be the soul of physicality of the solar system. No? So you can really doing a lot of game here by changing the containers and using the same principle in the micro and the macro. So I think this to me really helped me out, and it makes things much more easy and doable, because at certain level everything is the same, but we're just shifting from one container to another, depending on what we want to do. So I just want to share this.
The only thing you have to do is keep your water clean to reflect as well as to absorb. That's the most important part, whether it's at the level of the planet, the level of our own physicality, it's the same story.
Are you going to start making T-shirts with that on it, Mashfaq? Keep your water clean. It's a new motto.
Yeah, keep your water. Yeah. Well, we can discuss about the.
People know about water in that sense. It's more than just water.
I mean, think about it. It's hydrogen, cosmic ray, and oxygen all together. I mean, it's a magical thing.
And it's also the substance of our interstitial fluid, the largest organ of our body, that we forget about, that science has conveniently forgotten about for the last few hundred years.
Yeah.
And then that's so important in space as well. The interstitial parts of space, what's in between the stars, now is becoming more important than the stars themselves. And that is that hydrogen that you speak of.
Yeah, the translucent empty space of the universe. It's the same story. We have the translucent liquid inside us. There is a translucent space in between stars. Same story.
But I would say about even the color, for example. Now I would say that the reason why the sea is blue, because it's got some sterilized effect. I don't remember now the word you used. So
yeah,
that means that even in our body, maybe we're blue, and we got that sterilized effect or something. So we don't have to worry about clean water, because we can clean it anytime we want, because we can use cosmic ray to clean it.
Yeah, but we have all kinds of crazy thoughts, and that's what messes it up. So yeah, but most people don't think very positively. So you can imagine why it's so difficult. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry about that. So it's our thoughts, the catalyst. If we know hydrogen and oxygen, hydrogen coming from the source and oxygen coming from the planet, and yeah, we're in between. To activate the C14, thoughts the catalyst. So what you meant is like you have to activate that water to be able to get that utility out of it. So that means our thoughts, the catalyst. Am I correct?
I would say it this way. Our thought is the source. Water is the catalyst. Thought is what initiates things. And the water is the delivery mechanism through which it's a delivery mechanism. So you can call it catalyst. So at the beginning, the thoughts come from the creator, and then everything else manifests into physicality through water and energy field and everything.
But that way, but what if there's bad thoughts?
Well, bad thoughts it makes the water dirty.
Exactly. So that means so our thoughts could be the
where does the root of the word good come from? Is God. So if you either have God thoughts or you have bad thoughts in a way. Right. And where are our thoughts normally? Are normally with the physicality and all the survival of life and all this aggravation we go through and emotions and whatnot. Where do we think of God during that time?
Yeah.
So, yeah, good thoughts are God thoughts and vice versa, I think. If we just eliminate one of the O's and all of a sudden it's God thoughts instead of good thoughts. And then we have good words, which are God words, and good actions, which are God actions. As Ginger one of our attendees yesterday in the testimonials was speaking of, and others, and speak of, and Ginger speaking of, like walking in the feet of God, or walking as if God. So that's God action, good action, all the same.
Yeah. So it's the action that creates, not destroys. So our consumption is the part that destroys. So we are to switch from destruction to creation, and thereby moving closer to the creator. We become closer to the creator through good thoughts, good words, and good actions.
Sometimes we have to destroy the wrong thing, the thing which is the building which is not straight and it's dangerous and liability. We have to destroy it and then create a new one on the right condition. So not all the time destroying something is bad. It's just to grow something good instead.
Well, it's best to leave it to the people who made it, because this is what's happening to the planet. The people who are creating all the negative things are dismantling it themselves so that it makes room for the good things to happen. So it's part of the same action, but since they are responsible for it, they are taking it down. The responsibility has to be abided by for the act of creation. So, I mean, you know, you can say it's a destruction. You have to do the destruction. So let's say, I mean, some of the leaders, we are elevating their souls right now, and they're doing all kinds of things for things to get exposed. Is it creation or destruction? They are doing it. They have created the monster, and they have to now remove the monster. We are elevating their soul for that kind of actions. They are part of the monster, let's say. Fingers, arms, and legs, and whatever. And, you know, by their actions, as they say, they're shooting themselves in the foot. So, you know, piece by piece, things are reshaping. But it is to create the room for those who create. Anyway, let's not go too far into it. We have done quite a bit today, and we can go further into it in Plasma Reactor group if we choose to. And thank you very much once again. Perhaps we should move on to the next.
Thank you, my dear Moshe. Thank you. Thank you so much. Gratitude.
Okay, I'll stop sharing, and Rick, you can put up your normal screen.
Thank you, Moshfak. Well, next is our needs and wishes part. We are getting on here, but we should be able to complete this, I expect. We'll have a half minute of silence after each wish. And is there anything else that we should be taking into account besides that? Get back to my schedule here.
There is a question from Birgit in the question section, and she said, comment free range means only not in batteries of multi-level small cages. Free range means they are in a large building by the thousands. What we picture to be free range is that they range freely out of doors on pastures. That is not the case. They still live in highly crowded conditions, never on fresh soil. We would really want them to be pasture raised or grass fed. Then you can be better assured that they live under more species appropriate conditions and rotated fresh pasture. Well, I couldn't understand what is free range.
Free range is that they are able to travel freely on the fields and so on and peck at things they want to peck at, and as opposed to being in a cage for their life.
Or in a crowded, confined area where they sometimes peck each other.
Yeah, so she's making the point that we really want them to be pasture raised, because free range is not always what we expect to be free range. It's supposed to be free range out of doors on pasture, but she mentions that's not the case, and so on and so forth. So ultimately, though, my point of view is ultimately those chickens, however they're raised, they get killed in their prime. They don't get to become old chickens. And I think that's a bit of a shame, because old age is okay and part of the living and dying process. And I don't think most of us would want to be cut down in our prime of life. So why do we do that with chickens? I stopped eating chickens 40 years ago when 50 years ago, and one of my first jobs was picking chickens and in a barn. And I did that for a night, and that was enough for chickens for the rest of my life. I caught many chickens that night and put them in. The guy stuffed them in a truck and took them away, and they were put into made into fried chicken the next day, basically. In any case, chickens have a life too. Let's carry on. We need to get through our workshop here.
Thank you, my dear.
Let's go to our needs and wishes.
Okay. We, the Universal Council, elevate the soul of the leaders and the population throughout the American continent to live in harmony, respecting each nation as equal. These are our wishes, and our wishes we command.
We, the Universal Council. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mike.
We, the Universal Council, give from our soul collectively to protect all the world and Iran from all evil. That's our wish, and our wish is our command.
We, the Universal Council, give from our soul for protection of those living with fear in natural disaster areas, and our soul wishes to help cover all emotional and physical needs. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, elevate the souls of the leaders involved in conflicts in Sudan and other areas only by greed, and with unconditional love and inner peace, so that they respect the lives of all population because they're sovereign and free.
We, the Universal Council, give through our souls that Russia and Ukraine can find peace for the sake of all the families of the planet. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, give freely our soul to elevate the soul of all the leaders to achieve peace in the Middle East now. And we are present with this wish, and our wish is our command.
Thank you, my dear Rick. I also apologize. The comment was from Ingard. So I'm so sorry. Apologize, my dear. Thank you. And we are here to serve, not to be served, dear beautiful souls. Really, this service is so beautiful for this beauty and totality to be done in a way, to see this manifestation. And I thank you, Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute Organization, all knowledge seeker teachers, our loving Iman Mehran ji, MTK, Sashif Pranam. So welcome again, welcome to the beauty and totality of one planet, one nation, one race, to the beauty and totality of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Organization, into the beauty and totality of all universal souls we are, into the beauty and totality of all souls in existence. And we call it home. So welcome home, my dear beautiful souls. Welcome. Thank you for being here always, dear beautiful souls. So much gratitude from the core of my heart and soul. Thank you so much. Salam, namaste, salute, the Universal Council.
All right, excellent. Thank you, Sweta, and thank you to all the members and support members of the Universal Council. And special thanks to our attendees who participated today. And it's always interesting to hear the stories of folks that have encountered the plasma technology and how it's influenced their life. And we look forward to more of the same, and we'll be back again next week at the same time and place. Well, not the same time and place, it'll be different, but the same local time, let's say. And our next public teaching workshop will be the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, as was mentioned previously today. And that starts at the 7 a.m. Central European Time on Wednesday, June 10th, which is the same as 10 p.m. Pacific Time today on Tuesday, or midnight Central Time, as Ginger has been advised. And so folks can attend that with the same workshop number that you got into the Zoom with. And it won't be broadcast to YouTube, but it will be recorded to the private teaching. Okay, I think that's it for our workshop here today. Thank you, everyone.
Here is the broadcast for a local dance.
We have one final thing to end our meeting with, which is traditional here.
And dance, dear beautiful souls. Thank you so much. Blessings of Ma. Live in joy always. Thank you. Clap, and dance.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Shweta, for that introduction as always. And let me see what other thanks. Thank you, Mark, for being the co-host once again in this endless series of workshops. And bye again, everyone. Hope to see you in the next public teaching.